Yo, it's JoohoneyyyBunnyyy. Look at this cute cat. Look at this cute cat. I was like, I need me some cats like these because these are so cute. I don't got no cats like these. Like, to well outside or whatever. You know what I mean? In the house. In the house. You know what I mean? But today is Wednesday, May 21st, 2025. Yeah, and I got apples, and I got my yogurt drink, probiotic drink, and I got popsicle because I'm hot. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, we're gonna be watching. I might have to do this in parts because my mom might come home. Yeah. So yeah. I can't talk how I want it if my mama here, so, you know what I mean? But this video is 39 minutes long, so it might be. We're gonna be watching. He's the sexiest tattoo artist everyone warned me about, and now I'm the one begging for his. God, what you begging for? Wait a minute. Finish that sentence. What you mean by that? What you mean by that?
What do you mean by that?
What you mean by that? This is by BL Stories. This is my first reaction to their channel stuff. So yeah, cause you know I love my Jimmo podcast, but I'm gonna try some new because I'm seeing these pop up too. So we're gonna do 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna do 1, 2, 3. Play.
Chapter 1: The appointment I shouldn't have made.
Wait. 1, 2, 3. Play.
Chapter 1: The appointment I shouldn't have made.
I gotta.
Jonah wasn't trying to have a quarter-life crisis.
These are the.
It just
popsicles I like the best.
One day he was grinding through spreadsheets in a too bright corporate cubicle,
the blue ones are my favorite.
eating yogurt that tasted like ambition and hopelessness. And the next he was standing in the middle of a rental apartment he found on a forum called Rent It, Regret It, holding a cactus and crying over a cereal commercial. He told himself it was a fresh start. The breakup, the burnout, the breakdown. It was all behind him. A new city, a new life, and a new roommate who introduced herself by saying, "I don't do dishes, I do drama."
Oh!
Trixie was chaos
She said, "I
and
fuck your
glitter
life
boots
up."
and eyeliner so sharp it could perform minor surgery. Jonah liked her immediately. "You look like a man who's never sinned in his life,"
Jonah
she said
Art,
that first
huh?
night, handing him a margarita in a skull-shaped glass.
1 margarita, 2 margaritas.
Jonah laughed nervously. "I just moved in." "You've got until Friday to do one rebellious thing," she said, flopping dramatically on the couch. "Or I'm taking you to a club called Leather Church."
I don't think I like that sound.
It was Friday night.
I don't
The
like
wine
leather.
was cheap, the apartment was warm, and Jonah, 25, slightly too soft to be
Eh,
called skinny,
25, yeah,
glasses
eh.
fogged from anxiety, typed "cool tattoos near me" into his phone.
I want a tattoo.
Cool was subjective.
I ain't got no tattoo.
But when he saw the listing for Sins and Needles, with its all-black logo and a
I
5-star
have a
review
tattoo
that
parlor
read,
near me, actually.
"Dawson could tattoo a sin onto your skin and make it feel
And they do
holy,"
piercings too.
something in him sparked. He booked an appointment for Saturday at 1 p.m.,
More piercings too.
then immediately texted
Only on my
Trixie in
ear.
panic. "Jonah, I
Nowhere
did the
else.
rebellious thing. Did you get a hooker or a tattoo?" "Tattoo, I think."
Tattoo.
"Hell yes. Don't chicken out and wear something slutty."
Oh.
The next day, Jonah stood outside Sins and Needles, staring at the door like it owed him money.
What, I gotta
The
comb my
studio
titties out
was tucked
something
into
with
the
it?
corner of a graffiti-covered alley between a record store and a donut shop that smelled like frosting and poor decisions. Its windows were dark-tinted, the logo etched in bold silver lettering on the door, a coiled
Tattoo
snake
artists
around the
are
needle,
cool.
daring you to come inside.
I get
Jonah's
weak in
hands
the
were already
knees with
sweaty.
tattoos.
He almost turned around, twice,
People who are
until the door swung
tattooed.
open and a woman with neon green hair and an eyebrow ring poked her head out. "You Jonah?" "Unfortunately," he said. She laughed and waved him in. "Come on, Dawson doesn't like people who flake." Jonah stepped inside. The studio was all exposed brick, polished black floors, and metal. The kind of place where you felt underdressed, no matter what you wore. Rock music hummed low from the speakers. There were framed photos of elaborate tattoos on every wall. Dragons, flowers, abstract lines that danced like flame. And then Dawson turned around.
Your popsicle.
Jonah's soul left his body. He was tall. Tattooed from his hands up past his biceps in patterns that looked too intimate for public display. His black tank top clung to a frame carved from muscle and shadows. His green eyes locked onto Jonah's, unreadable but intense. His jaw was sharp, lips full, a single silver ring in one ear glinting like sin. Jonah? He asked, voice rough and smooth all at once. Jonah nodded, or tried to. It came out as more of a whole-body twitch. Dawson's smirk twitched. You look like someone dared you to be here. That's because someone did, Jonah muttered, then immediately regretted it. Dawson chuckled, low and quiet. You know what you want? I thought so, Jonah said, but then I walked in and my soul tried to leave through my knees. That earned a full
Yaoi
laugh.
stories from
Jonah hated how it made his heart
tattoo
stop.
artists.
Dawson stepped closer, taking the
Multiple
clipboard from the counter. Let's see what we're working with. Where do you want the tattoo? My wrist, Jonah said. He held it out. Dawson reached for him. The moment their skin touched, something cracked, like a jolt of static electricity, but warmer, deeper. Jonah gasped. Dawson looked up, surprised. Their eyes met. Shit, Jonah whispered. You okay? Dawson asked, not letting go. Jonah's wrist was still in his hand, his fingers calloused and warm. Jonah could feel every point of contact like it was being etched into him. Static shock.
Getting stabbed.
That wasn't static, Dawson said, still watching him. You felt that too? Jonah opened his mouth, closed it, opened it again. Are you flirting with me or trying to kill me? Why not both? I'm leaving. Jonah yanked his wrist back. Dawson let him, though his gaze lingered. Jonah took a step back and hit someone behind him. Whoa there, Twinkie, said a voice. Jonah turned to see a man with bleached hair, tattoos up his neck, and a lip ring. You okay? Maddox, don't scare the new ones, Dawson said, amused. Jonah's just shy. I'm not shy, Jonah snapped. Maddox raised an eyebrow. You're stuttering and blushing. That's textbook shy. I'm just reacting to an overly stimulating environment. Jonah, Dawson said, stepping forward again. If you want out, that's fine. But if you want something that's yours, something bold, you'll walk out of here different. That sounds like a threat. It's a promise, Dawson said, eyes dark. You're the one who booked with me. Jonah hesitated. The tension stretched between them like heat in summer air. His heart was pounding so loud he could hear it. This was reckless, stupid, dangerous. Jonah did the only logical thing. He ran. You ran, Trixie howled, mascara smudging under her eyes as she laughed so hard she choked on her boba. Oh my God, you ran? I panicked. They were sitting on their tiny balcony with Thai food and wine. Jonah wore an oversized hoodie in self-loathing. He touched my wrist, Jonah muttered, and it felt like I was a live wire. It wasn't normal. He wasn't normal. Trixie sipped her wine. Was he hot? Jonah scowled. Obviously. Then it's okay, Jonah groaned. I can never go back there. You'll be back by Monday, she said. I won't. She leaned in, suddenly serious. You want a new life, babe? You can't just run every time something stirs your soul. I don't want my soul stirred, Jonah whispered. I want it tucked in a blanket with tea and a book.
Shake it now.
Trixie kissed his cheek. Too late for that, sweetheart. The next morning, Mrs. Langley cornered Jonah in the stairwell. She was 70, wore leopard print, and had acrylic sharp enough to slice a tire. I saw you walking out of Sins and Needles yesterday, she said, lighting a cigarette even though it was strictly against building rules. You did? That Dawson boy inked my thigh back in 2017. Still makes me walk funny when I think about it. Jonah stared. Why would you tell me that? Because, she said, blowing smoke, sometimes the things that scare you the most are the ones that wake you up. Jonah blinked. Then, why your thigh? Mrs. Langley winked. Because I have taste, darling. Now go get inked. Or laid. Preferably both.
I'm a bad bitch.
Jonah turned bright red. And then
Still
laughed.
at 80, a bad
Back in his
bitch.
room, Jonah sat on the bed, staring at the half-finished sketch he brought to the shop. The feather design, elegant and wild. He touched his wrist. It still tingled. He remembered Dawson's eyes, his hands, the way he didn't pull away. He remembered something else, too. The way Dawson had looked at him like he wasn't just another customer. like he was something worth remembering. Jonah picked up his phone. Hey, is that appointment slot still open?
And it's like, it usually goes like this. The tattoo artist, like they're the tattoo artist, like the wild
one. He run
one.
the first time, he wasn't gonna run again.
And the one getting a tattoo,
he touched me
it's like
once,
the nerdy, like
thinking about it.
cut.
Jonah tried everything to forget
you know
about
what I mean?
touch.
The shy.
He reorganized the pantry alphabetically.
Doesn't jump out the box.
He joined a meditation app and quit it within 20 minutes. He even helped Trixie dye her hair from bubblegum pink to radioactive violet, despite the fact that he'd sworn off both bleach and chaos.
But
every night,
strict
his body
parents
remembered.
and stuff.
The press of calloused fingers against his wrist. The low hum of Dawson's voice. The way the air had gone thin and sharp between them, like a struck match about to burn down something important.
No
He told himself
contrast
it was
with
nothing.
characters. The dichotomy.
Attraction happened. Chemistry sparked and faded all the time. Just because his skin still tingled where Dawson touched him didn't mean anything. And yet, he avoided the entire 4-block radius around Sins and Needles like it owed him money and emotional stability. Are you seriously crossing the street again? Trixie asked one afternoon as they stood on the corner near an independent bookstore. Jonah pretended to be interested in a potted plant. I just like the lighting on this side. She rolled her eyes. You're dodging the tattoo booth at the fair.
Where I'm at.
What tattoo booth? You are such a bad liar, she said, grabbing his arm. Come on, we're going. It's a street fair, not a death sentence. I don't want to see him, Jonah insisted, heels dragging across the sidewalk.
I
You
volunteered.
mean the guy who touched your wrist and made you
That's
question
tribute.
everything you knew about physical contact? Jonah's ears turned red. That's not what happened. I was there when you came home and tried to ice your soul, she reminded him. You want
Fetch me
closure?
your soul.
Face the man. Jonah wanted to argue, but then he heard the music. The street was packed, buzzing with booths and music and the scent of grilled meat and cinnamon sugar. Strings of flags flapped overhead, children darted past with cotton candy, and couples walked hand in hand beneath paper lanterns. And there, at the far end of the street, was the Sins and Needles booth. It was black and silver and glowing with a kind of cool, dangerous confidence. Maddox leaned casually against the side, flipping a piercing needle between his fingers. A girl with blue hair sat on a stool beside him, biting her lip while he marked her belly button. And in the center, under the shade of a black awning, was Dawson. Shirtless. Jonah's brain short-circuited. Dawson's back was to him, every muscle in sharp relief as he bent over his forearm. His tattoos looked like they breathed with him, shifting with each movement. The phoenix he was inking stretched up the man's forearm in vivid reds and oranges, alive under his
I just
touch.
ate Taco Bell yesterday.
Jonah stopped walking. Dawson turned. Their eyes met. Jonah forgot how legs
I didn't eat a
worked.
taco.
Dawson smiled, lazy, knowing like he'd been expecting him all day. He lifted one hand and crooked his fingers in a come here gesture. Jonah froze. Nope, he said aloud. No. Too late, Trixie whispered, grinning.
Grilled
He saw
cheese
you.
burritos.
And then Dawson was walking toward him.
Specific.
God. He moved, like he knew people watched. Confident, grounded, the kind of walk that made you forget conversations and basic arithmetic.
Big dick
His eyes
energy.
never left Jonah's, not even for a second.
Yeah.
Jonah had a brief, absurd fantasy that included swooning into a nearby kettle corn stand. Didn't think I'd see you again, Dawson said when he stopped in front of him. His voice was quieter here, close enough to feel against Jonah's skin. He smelled like cedar and ink and sweat. Somehow, it was unfairly good. I was in the area, Jonah said. Dawson raised a brow. Avoiding the shop, though. I wasn't okay, maybe. You always run when someone touches you. Only when they do it like it means something, Jonah snapped, then immediately winced. I didn't mean. Dawson leaned in. You think it didn't? Jonah's breath caught. The noise of the fair disappeared, swallowed by the space between them. Dawson's eyes were greener than Jonah remembered. His mouth curved into something wicked and soft all at once. You want to finish what we started? Dawson asked. Jonah hated how fast he nodded. The tattoo booth was blessedly air-conditioned and far too intimate for someone who still felt like his skin might combust. Sit, Dawson said, patting the tall stool inside. Jonah climbed up awkwardly, trying to keep his knees from knocking together.
If you do combust, you get rewarded.
You really okay with this?
Like a phoenix.
Dawson asked, voice gentler now. Jonah looked down at his wrist. It still wore the faint marker lines from the first time. I think I need to be. Dawson smiled, setting up his tools. Good. He took Jonah's wrist in one hand and wiped it clean. Jonah stared straight ahead, trying very hard not to make eye contact with Maddox, who was lounging nearby and clearly eavesdropping. The moment the needle touched his skin, Jonah inhaled sharply. "You okay?" Dawson murmured, leaning closer. Jonah didn't answer. He couldn't. The pain was there, sharp and biting, but it wasn't overwhelming. It was grounding, centering. Dawson's hands moved like they knew what Jonah needed better than he did. He glanced down. The feather was coming to life on his skin. Elegant and a little wild, it curved with his wrist like it belonged there, like it had always been waiting. "You're shaking," Dawson said softly.
This is a good Yaoi. This is a tattoo artist.
Dawson paused.
I forgot
Their
what
eyes
it's
met
called.
again. Jonah's pulse thundered. Neither of them looked away. Dawson leaned in, just an inch. Just enough to make Jonah dizzy. "You keep looking at me like you want me to kiss you," Dawson said, his breath brushing Jonah's lips. "Maybe I do," Jonah whispered. "Then why haven't you asked?" "Maybe I like the tension." Dawson grinned and leaned closer. Jonah's eyes fluttered shut. And then, "Hey Dawson," someone yelled from outside. "Your next client's early." They pulled apart like they'd been electrocuted. Jonah could feel his face burning. Dawson exhaled through his nose and set the machine down. "I'm gonna kill Maddox," he muttered. Maddox poked his head in. "Don't be..."
Oh, fuck you, Lulu Lemon, bitch. Yo.
It's nice to have a backup. Lindor, made to melt you.
Fuck
By the
you,
master chocolatier.
Lindor.
When it comes to providing you with a
Fuck you,
better car buying
Honda.
experience, CMA's Colonial Hyundai takes it personally.
Fuck you, doggy treats, whatever the that is.
Man, I
Oh
say-
my gosh, bro.
Oh my god!
I mean, what you trick out? Okay, stop that. 13:51. Play.
Jonah could feel his face burning. Dawson exhaled through his nose and set the machine down. "I'm gonna kill Maddox," he muttered. Maddox poked his head in. "Don't be mad. I saved you from public indecency. Die in a fire." Maddox winked and disappeared. Jonah tried to gather the shreds of his dignity. "So, how much?" Dawson didn't answer right away. He wiped the tattoo gently, fingers lingering on Jonah's skin. "You really want to know? Do I not?" Dawson turned Jonah's wrist toward him, showing the ink in full. The feather was complete, dark, delicate, and just a little fierce. A single streak of gold ran through the center like a spark. "It's on the house," Dawson said. "Consider it unfinished business." Jonah opened his mouth. "Unless," Dawson added, his voice rough again, "you want to pay me in dinner." Jonah blinked. "Like a date? Like something that ends with me touching more than your wrist."
Oh.
Jonah nearly fell off the stool.
What do you mean by
That
that?
night, Jonah lay in bed staring at the ceiling. His wrist throbbed
Dawson
gently,
trying to get
the tattoo wrapped in soft plastic. But the memory of Dawson's hands was louder, clearer. He could still feel the warmth of him, the way his voice curled around Jonah's name like it tasted good. He turned over and buried his face in the pillow. It didn't
Oh
help.
god, you're gonna be tasting more
Every time he
after
closed his
that
eyes, he
day.
felt it again. That almost kiss. The way Dawson leaned in like he knew exactly what Jonah was craving. Jonah groaned and rolled onto his back. "I am in so much trouble." The tattoo pulsed against his skin, a feather, soft, wild, and permanent. Chapter 3. You don't touch someone like that and walk away. Jonah didn't mean to walk past the shop again. He really didn't. It just so happened that the best coffee cart in the neighborhood was right across from Sins and Needles. And sure, maybe he took the long way to the bookstore now, and maybe he adjusted his route to accidentally pass the shop
It's
around the
just
time Dawson usually had his
these
shirt off.
ones, the pictures
That
are
just means he
slow
was
to
obsessed.
changing, and I don't really like
But
that.
Dawson noticed.
I
Every
like
time.
Jimmo's, like they
One afternoon,
change
Jonah was pretending
after
to text
like
on the
each
sidewalk when the shop door
sentence
creaked
or
open.
so to another
"You know I can see your reflection in the
movement
window,
or
right?"
location. Or,
Dawson called,
You know?
leaning against the doorframe, arms crossed over his chest, tattoos on full display in the golden light. Jonah's phone slipped out of his hand. Dawson grinned. "Want to come in? Or are you planning to pace out there for another hour?" Jonah hesitated, then sighed. Do you always flirt with your former clients?
She does.
Only the ones who run away after the
She
kiss.
does.
Jonah flushed from his collarbones up. That was an accident. Dawson raised an eyebrow. The kiss or the running? Both. Dawson chuckled and stepped back, holding the door open. Come in, Jonah. He did. He always did, eventually. Somehow they started hanging out. It wasn't planned. It never was. It just happened. Like gravity. They played pool at a dive bar 2 blocks away. Jonah was terrible at it. Even worse when Dawson stood behind him to adjust his grip. Warm breath at his ear. They grabbed late-night tacos from a truck with flickering neon lights. Jonah spilled hot sauce on his shirt. Dawson took it as an excuse to walk him home and stare at the tattoo peeking from beneath his sleeve. They sat on Dawson's bike outside the studio, helmets on their laps, just talking. Jonah learned things slowly, in bits and pieces, like peeling layers off a guarded man. Dawson didn't volunteer anything, but he answered when asked. Maddox isn't just my coworker, he said one night, idly spinning a lighter in his fingers. He's my cousin. My mom took him in when he was 8. She passed when I was 17. After that, it was just us. You raised him? Jonah asked, stunned. Dawson shrugged like it wasn't impressive. Someone had to. He's annoying, but he's mine. Jonah smiled. That explains the protective instincts. Dawson's lips twitched. That, or the rumors that I once broke a guy's nose for calling Maddox a slur. Jonah's smile faded. Did you? No, Dawson said. I broke 2 noses. The second guy got cocky. They both laughed, but Jonah's heart stung. Not from the violence, but the why. Because no one who protected someone that fiercely could be the heartless flirt the neighborhood whispers claimed. And the more time they spent together, the more Jonah noticed the cracks in Dawson's armor. The way his eyes went soft around kids. They once passed a little girl selling lemonade and Dawson tipped her $20 and didn't say a word about it.
I love
The way he looked
big
exhausted some
softy
days, shadows under his
guys,
eyes,
like big
sleep
brother
was a
guys,
luxury he didn't
tattoo,
always take. The way he
but
always
like
checked
they're
that
gummy
Jonah got
bears
home
inside,
safe,
you know what I
every
mean?
time. It wasn't long before Jonah started changing too. He stopped buttoning his shirts all the way up.
Oh.
He laughed louder. He said yes more often.
Okay, little
The shift was slow but real, like someone wiping dust off an old painting to reveal the colors underneath. Trixie noticed.
On you.
You're smiling again, she said one morning, sipping her bubble tea with a suspicious
I want
squint.
some bubble tea.
It's weird. I kind of hate it. I'm just happy, Jonah said too quickly. She grinned.
You don't think you
So
deserve
it
to be
is
happy?
about the tattoo daddy.
Oh.
Don't call him that. Why not? You clearly want to.
Zip.
Jonah muttered something about roommates being a curse and escaped into his room. He didn't admit how right she was. A week later, Jonah found himself at the studio again after hours. Maddox had left, locking up with a smirk and a not-so-subtle wink.
Oh.
The lights were low, the front blinds drawn. Dawson was sketching something on his tablet, leaned over the counter, shirtless as usual, a lazy